I've always been one of those people that just works too much, and my default is to just say yes to work and keep it coming in. And I tend to be overworked and kind of overcommitted, and it all works out, but at the cost of my personal time. In 36 hours, I went from being overcommitted for the rest of the year and having actually too much work to having no work at all. And it's been a complete 180. Now I have all the time in the world, and I'm reaching out to everybody and trying to get better at cooking. But it's been a drastic change, and one of the things that's both difficult about it and also a little bit comforting in a weird way is that it's not just me, it's actually everybody that I work with. All of the bartenders, the servers, the bar backs, the entrepreneurs and restaurant owners and event planners, everybody's out of work. Everybody's been laid off or they've closed their businesses. There's a handful of people in the bar and restaurant community in New York that are continuing to do delivery, but I'm sure that will probably go on lockdown at some point. And it's tough to think of all the people that I'm used to seeing and working with, and that I care so much about, going through the same thing. But at the same time, I'm a little thankful that it's not just me, that we're kind of in it together.
Yeah. What are you worried about in your life if this goes on for a long time?
I guess to address the personal side of it first, as I said, my family's all back in Detroit. Fortunately, I'm thankful that they're all together. They all live within like about 10-15 minutes of each other. So I'm thankful that they can help each other. I feel very anxious about their safety just because it's a huge family and the statistics are so scary out there. I'm really concerned that something could happen and I wouldn't be there to help, or even just to be there. On a professional level, the immediate panic fears of, what if the restaurant and bar industry doesn't come back? What if people don't feel like going out and gathering the same way that they did before all of this happened to us? In helping to set up our programs, I'm fortunate in that I'm able to bring in some really wonderful, talented friends that I have and find jobs for them, at least in the normal course of business. I don't know if I will be able to do that in the future. And the idea of not being able to help is a little bit soul crushing. The fundamental danger right now is that we can't physically come together. It's definitely a disaster to have all of these people without jobs, but then I'm concerned that at some point people will lose their sense of purpose.
Right.
When people lose a sense of purpose that you're draining the battery for real.
But do you have any parting wisdom before I let you go, about anything? Any wisdom that you've come to realize?
I think we're going to need to be okay with not everybody going back to the life that they had before. This is going to be a little bit of a sidestep, but I know that people who go through traumatic injuries are sometimes told not to try to rebuild what they had, but to try to build something new. And I expect that we'll hear from a lot of people who don't want the same job, who don't want to live in the same place, who have completely revised priorities. I think we need to be mindful to be okay with that at the other end of this.